Guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Kristen, and today we're doing some inexpensive DIYs with dollar store items for fall time. So the first one, I'm using this wood round from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go ahead and paint the entire thing orange, which honestly, in the end, it's not really necessary to paint the entire thing because we're going to go ahead and add some fabric to this. Now this fabric I got from Dollar Tree last year, so I'm just going to go ahead and unroll it and just add it to the bottom of the sign. And of course, I just used a good old glue stick to add the fabric. This honestly works really well. You could use Mod Podge if you choose to. And if you do want to seal it, just throw some Mod Podge on there. Or I also have used the Elmer's glue stick in the past to go over the top of the fabric. And I personally think that it dries the same. I used my Cricut for this one and just cut out this Hello Fall with a pumpkin and was adding it to the top of the fabric. I guess when I mean top of the fabric, I just mean right above onto the wood sign. And then of course, when this is finished, you can just embellish this however you want. I always like to either add some greenery, some faux pumpkins, a bow, something fun just to finish this off. I used to always buy a ton of these wood pieces or just kind of any sort of wood item from Dollar Tree. Honestly, until the prices started going up, then you will see less and less of Dollar Tree wood because you really can get it way cheaper pretty much everywhere and anywhere else. But I'm just going to use a window cling for this one and some Dollar Tree stickers. And then I'm also going to go ahead and use my Cricut for this one as well. If you don't have a Cricut, you can always just go ahead and use stencils or whatever you had on hand. I'm not picky when it comes to crafting. I just like to do it the easy way out. So if you have a Cricut, this is pretty easy to do. If you like using stencils, just go ahead and use those. This sign was a fun one. This is from last year from Dollar Tree, and I just removed that top piece right there. And then I really kind of just liked the way it all looked, so I didn't do a whole lot to it. I did just grab a napkin, and this one was from Hobby Lobby. I go ahead and remove that center piece, and it just pops right back on, and no problem once I was completely finished with this. I did take the plies off of the napkin, and now I'm just going to be cutting it down to size, of course using the glue stick. And if you're new to my channel, I use an Elmer's glue stick on pretty much everything. I'll use it on napkins, placemats, I'll use it on fabric, everything and anything. And it seems to hold up pretty well. So when I get my fall things out, I'm kind of late to the fall party because I know everyone's already got their decor out. I have not yet, but I know that this stuff is still going to be intact once I pull it out of my tote and start decorating again this year. And of course, grabbing a little bit of sandpaper and just sanding down the edges. This is just the easiest way to get all of those extra pieces of that napkin away from your project. For this one, I'm just going to go ahead and use this Hello Fall sign. I am not sure exactly where this came from. I think it possibly came from Michael's. Honestly, I don't know. I don't have a clue, so I'm not even going to guess. I'm going to use my glue stick once again and a napkin and just put this right in the center of the back side of the sign. I like to use a lot of the backs of items, especially when they do have that wood that kind of pops out. You could probably get it off using maybe some sort of a cutter or maybe even like some sort of heat and removing it or putty knife, whatever you kind of have on hand. I just choose to use the easy way out, so I just use the back side. So this was kind of complicated, but we made it work. Using that Hello Fall pumpkin that was from the last project, I'm just adding it to the center of this. Now I could be done, but I decided to go a little bit farther with this and just add some pumpkins just to make this stand out just a little bit more. so many of these cutting boards, I don't even know what to do with all of them. Actually, I do. I think I'm almost done using all of them. They were originally $1 from Dollar General, and then you can just grab these after the holiday. They seem to always have a lot of great items after the seasons and holidays. I think I picked up a ton of items, 90% off last year. We're going to go ahead and use this $1 placemat. Yes, you can still get items for $1 at Dollar General. It's honestly why I prefer to shop there at the time or at the moment. I think $1.50 is a little steep on some of the items that Dollar Tree has to offer now. But if you still like shopping at Dollar Tree and it's close to your home and that's what you choose to use, then so be it. You go. It doesn't matter where you buy your craft supplies from. I'm just going to add some twine to the top of this, and I just decided to go ahead and add some beads just to make this a little more fun. I just have a ton of beads. I don't even know where they all come from. Some from Amazon. And then anything that I tear apart that has beads, I just go ahead and save them, because you just never know when you're going to use them or want them. And then I just added a couple stickers from Dollar Tree to this, and that was it. Pumpkin was from Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and paint it in the chalk paint in the color white. I don't know why I said it that way, but I did. Now, I really like using napkins for a lot of my projects. I have so many napkins, so I figured I might as well go ahead and just use a bunch of these. Now, you're going to see that most of these projects are from last year, so if you have not seen these, since so many people do post videos, I'm sure that you don't watch every single one that I post, and that's totally okay with me. But if you want to check them out, here you go. So here's some last year inspiration for you. But yeah, so I used to shop at, just a little backstory, I guess, if you're new. Or if you're not new and you just want to listen, then go ahead and stick around. But I used to shop at Dollar Tree a lot. I used to have my grocery cart full of items at Dollar Tree, and now I just don't see it worth it that I can honestly just redecorate with items that I have or craft with items that I find on clearance from the previous year, because there was so many items I picked up for under $1 and even way less than 50 cents. So I always try to shop after, and then if there's something that I really must have or need, then I would possibly pick it up, but I don't ever feel that way when it comes to items. So I'm kind of a cheap, frugal crafter, but at the moment, it just seems like I don't feel, or I don't think it's necessary to pay for any sort of craft supply or project if it's going to cost me over $5 to $10 on just a little sign, something like this. So like right now, I would have already been at about $4 or $5 just to make this. With the napkins and that little bless sign and some ribbon and raffia and the pumpkin sign. So, I mean, I'm really glad that I do have a lot of these left over from last year, and I'm lucky that I do kind of shop after the season. So let me know in the comments below if you do shop after the seasons, and if you think it's 100% worth it at this point. I know everything is going up in price, and I'm not just hitting up Dollar Tree, because I did notice that Dollar General is also raising a lot of their prices. So most of that stuff, I don't think anyone is going to touch, so I will just wait till after the season to buy it. For this one, I got to use another wood round. This is just another way to use these, and I've made so many of these, so I just thought I would share a bunch of different ways that I did it. So, of course, I'm painting it orange. This time I was smart enough to only paint part of it, because we're going to be adding fabric to the bottom of this one as well. So if your Dollar Tree doesn't have fabric, Walmart always has good fabric selections, and you can get some smaller items or smaller fabric. I don't even know what they're called because I don't really use fabric, but they're inexpensive. You can pick them up for just over $1, and you can make things just like this. Here is where I actually added that glue stick over the top. Now, it might look a little crazy, like, why would you do that? Why would you not just use Mod Podge? But I pick up Elmer's glue sticks after when they're clearancing out school supplies, which I find it so funny because like Walmart and all of our grocery stores, they sell glue sticks year round, but they'll always throw all that school supplies on clearance. So I can pick up so many of these for a couple bucks, and it is amazing. So the gather sign, I think that is from, I don't even know where it's from now. It's either from Dollar General, Hobby Lobby, or Dollar Tree, because that's really just where I buy most of the items. And then I'm going to add some greenery, this pumpkin, some fun embellishments. And I just think these are super fun to make. I loved these pumpkins, these wooden pumpkins. I think they were always fun to make. You can just add these to anything. You could add a base to them so they could stand on a shelf. You could add some twine and you could go ahead and put them on your door. So many possibilities. Like I said, I loved using fabric, and this was the year that Dollar Tree had some very cute fabric rolls. And this one I think happened to be one of my favorites. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this to the wooden pumpkin. And of course, adding that glue stick over the top to seal it down, because sometimes they do start to pop up, especially when it's fabric around the edges. So you always kind of want to seal those down. And then of course, another one of these thankful, grateful gather signs I'm just adding to the center. Now I really like that wood color, so I try not to paint these if I don't have to, just because they can be a pain as well, trying to get like in the center of the A and the E and the Fs and things like that. I'm going to go ahead and add a little leaf to this and a bow, and that bow was from Hobby Lobby. It came in a pack and they were so cute. And then now I'm just adding these wood cubes to the back of this so it will stand on its own. Now, I love getting my grapevine wreath forms from yard sales. I can always find them super inexpensive, and you can pull off any of the leaves. A lot of times I do find them new because people just seem to buy them and just never use them. I'm using boxwood greenery from Walmart here, and then a ton of eucalyptus florals from Dollar Tree. These are some of my favorites last year, and so I did pick up quite a few of them, and this just made the cutest wreath. And then what I love about these the most, if you don't use hot glue, you can just reuse the wreath form for different holidays or different seasons, and you can also take the eucalyptus off and use it for a different project. Now, right here, I decided to go ahead and use some hot glue, but honestly, I don't really think that it ruins the wreath in any sort of way because I'm kind of putting it on some of the greenery and eucalyptus, so I was able to eventually reuse this for something different. Every time I make a wreath, I get really excited to hang it up, and then by the end of the season, the wind has really gotten to it, or I have some missing pieces, so then I just kind of tear them apart and reuse them for something different. And then these little corn pieces, I think these are from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if they have them this year. I really haven't looked as much as I normally do. I was kind of like intrigued by all the Hobby Lobby blankets because they were really soft for fall rather than craft supplies, I guess. But I love how this one turned out. I love using the pumpkins and the corn. It kind of just breaks everything up from the florals, and I just think this one is really pretty. This is a yard sale find. Now, I love yard sales. I love garage sales, whatever you choose to call them. I usually call them garage sales, but I know yard sales is kind of a better term that most people call them. Usually they're in the garages where I live, and that's why I guess we call them that. But I love thrifting. So any chance I get, any time I can find a good deal, I like to thrift items. I was getting so many items. I want to say within the past month, I was getting so many great deals that were absolutely insane as far as craft supplies and different things I could repurpose. I'm really excited to use those. I am going to be doing maybe a couple more fall videos, maybe a Halloween video. I do plan on doing at least one of those. I may not, though. I kind of just want to redo some fun like furniture pieces and thrift some things and do like some home decorating. if you guys are this far, let me know in the comments below, like, if I switch up my channel just a little bit. I'm going on 9 years on YouTube, and sometimes we just need a fresh start, like just not a complete switch or not a complete transformation, but just kind of, I'd like to do like more decorating and like home projects, and maybe get into like cleaning videos more, or I may just use my other channel for that. And if you guys don't follow that, I will link it down below. I have not posted in a year, but I kind of started doing YouTube shorts over there. So if you do like those, I will link it down below. Anyways, I painted this little wheelbarrow in the hazelnut color by Waverly, and then I'm just going to be adding a bunch of different florals. And I think all of these actually came from Dollar Tree. A change up. So we had some 2x4s left over from when we redid our fence for our goats. And of course, I don't feel like we need to waste any sort of wood because it costs so much money and we had so much left over. So I did cut them down to size. I'm going to go ahead and paint them in this hazelnut color because we're going to be making some scarecrow with these. I always think that like when you have wood pieces, you can honestly make anything and everything with wood. You could glue them together and you could make a shelf. You could make some scarecrow like I'm gonna here. I used my Cricut to make the faces. You could paint these on. I am not very good at freehanding faces, so this is the easiest way to go for me. But short story long, I love using wood. I don't use it nearly as much as I would like to. So if you guys like doing wood projects, let me know in the comments below. I do have a miter saw that we cut with, but you can always use like a hacksaw. I do see people actually use those like inside their craft room, which is always like mind blowing to me. I always think that that's like a garage tool. Like it should not be inside a house. But anyways, we're going to be making scarecrow. I liked using wood. Don't have enough. Blah, 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 blah. So I don't know why I chat. It's been a minute since I've honestly like more chit-chatted through videos because I really did enjoy it. And then some people are just like, stop talking. But yeah, adding the scarecrow wood faces, and then I'm going to be using some burlap to make some fun hats and some raffia for the hair. Now, I don't know if I did this wrong or if I should have added the raffia to this beforehand. I did not glue any of the hair, so it was kind of falling out. But I mean, it ended up working out pretty good. I did just make sure that the burlap was secured and good to go. And then I did just kind of fold these hats in and tie it with some twine. I think these are the cutest things I think I've honestly ever made. I don't do scarecrow very often or like scarecrow themed crafts, so these definitely are some of my favorites that I've made, and it was just with a block of wood. And even if you don't have access to a saw, they do sell items like this at the hardware stores or at, I'm in Michigan, so we have a Menards, but if like a Lowe's or a Home Depot, you can get pieces like this. This next DIY is also with the same wood. I'm just going to go ahead and use some black chalk paint to cover the tops and the backs and the sides and all around these wood pieces, because this is actually going to be the bottom, or you're not actually going to see this part except through the cracks. Like, let's just say that. So I'm going to be using this Crackle paint, or this Crackle. It's just Crackle. It's by Dixie Belle. And you have to make sure that you follow directions on this. I recently did a video using this, and I'll link it down below if you missed it. But you really want to make sure that you are painting one way, not back and forth, not all around. And I kind of did mess up a little bit on some of these. It just makes the crackle look weird. So you want to make sure that you follow the directions. So once it was all done and dry, and I was like, oh my gosh, like the cardboard got stuck to this. I was getting kind of frustrated. So I'm like, okay, use the back side. Honestly, it didn't matter once I painted. So I don't know why I was getting so frustrated over something so silly. To make this go faster, of course, I'm going to use a hair dryer. I have this little Conair hair dryer I use in my craft room all the time. I think I picked it up for $12 or $13 from Walmart, and I've had it for a few years, actually, quite a few years. So, you know, you can buy the most inexpensive hair dryer, and it does seem to last and work. So you can see on this one, the crackle didn't work as good on the bottom part, and that's because I kind of didn't paint the way I was supposed to. You can't really tell, but I can. I'm using these little wood stems from Dollar Tree. And if you can't find the wood stems, you could probably just go outside, cut a piece of your tree down, and cut a bunch of little wood stems. Using some raffia, that was from Walmart, some greenery, sunflowers are from Hobby Lobby and or Dollar Tree. They did have those, but Hobby Lobby does have them this year again. And then I'm just kind of decorating them to however I'd like. And I think these are so cute. I think they turned out so good. And that crackle is super fun to use. It is kind of messy if you do get it all over. It is very sticky, but in the long run, it is 100% worth it. And these look so cute. Clings are so fun to use, especially when you have glass jars like this one. This was a pickle jar, and I am just adding a window cling to this, not gluing it, nothing. And then we're just going to go ahead and add some eucalyptus to this. These eucalyptus leaves were from Dollar Tree a couple years ago, and that's honestly all I had to do with this. And then I can just peel off that window cling and use it for a different craft. I think window clings are the easiest to use on glass, obviously because they are meant to throw on windows. So if you do pick up any sort of glass jar or vase, or the next DIY I'm using is with these candlesticks from Dollar Tree. Now these, I don't even know how much these cost anymore. They were $1 when I bought them once upon a time. And I'm just adding some small window clings to this, and then I can decorate it for different holidays. And personally, these were some of my favorites that I did, these little fall ones. I don't light them because these candles smell like nothing, but they do look really cute sitting on a shelf. I'm using 2 of these wooden, what are these? I think they were pencil holders from Dollar Tree. I'm using Mod Podge for these window clings, and I think that these look really good on this wood color. I also like to paint the backgrounds white. I also think that looks good with window clings. And I'm just using 2 of these smaller pumpkins, and then I'm going to add some greenery to these, and you have some really cute fall decor. Next up, this is an older DIY, and I'm honestly kind of sad by it because these were really fun signs to use. I'm gluing these 2 together, but I used to actually rip them apart and use that gingham or that checkered pattern as some sort of border along signs. I used to grab 2 of these and make some really cute like square signs. It was just like it brings back the old Dollar Tree and the old YouTube days of crafting. Of course, adding some window clings to the side once everything was painted, adding some moss, adding some little pumpkins. And I don't know why I thought that I needed to glue these pumpkins in, because well, I mean, the moss really wasn't securing them, and they were just kind of sticking out regardless. Greenery, and this is super cute. You guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed these cheap and simple DIYs for fall. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, I would love you to stick around and subscribe. Till then, I will see you in the next one. Bye.